ISE 2018 in the rise. 78,000 people come here, 1,200 exhibitors, and there's way too much. There's way too much. There's no way you can make sense of it. Everybody's here, including Tesla with their audio stuff. But hey, let's give you a quick feeling of what we're gonna have here. Let's give you a feeling about the market. This is the pink one, is the streaming media and storage and distribution. Here's the legend. Then we here have the screens, which is a big part, and the projection is a big part, and the audio equipment and the capture equipment. Look at software, extremely important, but 1%. It's nothing. And then we have services, of course, and the blue one is infrastructure. So this is the overall market dollars. And to give you an idea, the total market is 53 billion, and it's 10 billion more than last year. Okay, 1,200 exhibitors. Of course, the core is audio live events. Then we have residential. The houses become more smarter, and also we have smart buildings here, and a whole on that. And then we have, of course, unified communications, more IT, and we have education technology. Well, I'm going to go and do a tour on this one, the signage, digital signage with all the latest displays and the software to basically see how these billions of displays present everything. Now, the first problem I had downloading the app was that it didn't recognize my passport, and if I said, please send me my passport back, it says, oh, invalid link. So I couldn't get into the double Dutch app, which was disappointing. Okay, trends, cloud, software and hardware seamlessly integrated. And Panasonic gave a great show integrating all the technology and making a fantastic experience. Of course, they have fantastic cameras, editing equipment and people. Ever wanted to know what's in one of these big, huge boxes? What kind of optical digital equipment there is? Nanotechnology? Why don't you build this at home, guys? This is really, really cool. So these laser beamers are all about light. And this is all blue light.
They're all blue lasers.
Blue lasers. And then they hit these kinds of spinning wheels. Yep. And then the blue light becomes yellow. And then yellow and blue together becomes white. And it goes from there. So one other important thing is this little thing. This is like millions of little mirrors, yep. And the white light which comes out of this box, yep. Which is, it's cold, it's sealed, it's not dirty like lamps, has an amazing lifespan, basically falls on this. These mirrors puts it into the red, the green and the blue area, and which is the prism, which is over here. And you have a very efficient beamer with very high intensity, and it doesn't break down. So now I have a 30,000 lumen beamer, which is very bright. It has two of those, and they cost $20,000 each. So you need 40,000. It's about half of the price of the beamer, but it's very, very efficient, unbelievable quality, and it lasts forever. This was Panasonic Visual Academy. Okay, and everywhere there's nice little theaters, which sound really good. This is about complex audio-video rooms, 40% occupancy, and most of the time they do calling. Half of the time they do calling, it's ridiculous. Of course, Korea has interesting products. First, wow, they have a photo screen. But these pictures come from Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter. And they are a mirror. Turn it off, and you see me. Okay, a small one, $100, and a big one, $500. And they're really good in software integration. Okay, you have digital signage, but look here, there's 3 buttons. And if I want it in Korean, I click the button, and everything immediately becomes Korean. Ha ha! How cool is that? And then, of course, I want German. I click bang. And of course, everything immediately becomes Korean. More examples of this integration, free by free, the brand wall, and you can decide everything there is. It takes it immediately from the social media, the Instagram, the Twitter, etc. And hey, for $1,000 a square, you can make 4x4, 6x6. You can just make it the way you want to. Is this cool? Soundgraph.com. Het leukste is nu ventilatoren. Dus je hebt gewoon hier 4 ventilatoren, 1 of 6. En het ziet er echt gewoon, zonder brilletje ziet het er gewoon geweldig uit. Mooi in kleur. Mooie effecten, gewoon ventilatoren projectie. So, the most used used to be 3240, but now it moved up to 4349. But this is 98, and 98 is the biggest one to handle on a practical level. Otherwise you need a crane, you can get it through the door. And this is also looking really good. Let's discuss display. This is curved, really beautiful, and extremely practical nowadays. Quality is good. And fantastic look through display, very good. Okay, belangrijkste, the most important thing at this screen is the bezel, that you don't see anything in between, and that bezel is getting better and better. Sometimes it doesn't matter, like here it's a logical way, but a lot of times the design agency doesn't know where the bezel is, the thing in between, and it basically makes a big mess. Okay, so this is very special. Look at the cables. This has a 75,000 lumens, made by the Belgians. And this screen, this can make a huge, big hall projection. It can be total, beautiful 3D.
It's the same for 4K.
Okay, in 2019 we will have, during the Olympics, we'll have 8K cameras and 8K screens. You have to have really good eyes to see it, but and there's no way I can show in any way. But this is about this size, about 60 inch or something like that. So 8K is coming. If we need it, who knows? LED is the standard outside. Epson is showing a new technology. And if we get closer, the quality is very good. The quality, you have to touch it because they are little squares. Here you can see them. They're 35 centimeters, and you can have as many connected as possible. Very good black, very good quality, very good energy.
With 850 or 870 OLED screens. It's totally crazy. The problem is there's no software which can handle such big resolution, because the resolution is 80,000 pixels or 80 million pixels in one direction. It's totally crazy, and Adobe is limited to 32 million pixels. So they need to design special software and add various pieces, because you cannot handle that. Obviously, that's only limit we have right now, and probably will be gone in a few months or years.
And where is this?
In Dubai Mall. Dubai Mall, on top of the aquarium. So whoever has been there, it's fascinating.
And it's the biggest LED screen of the world.
Well, it's OLED.
OLED screen.
There are more than 700 OLED screens, and every one 4K resolution.
How is that technology?
Chip on board, LED chip on board.
And it will be available in 24 months?
Yeah. Very, very important. And more cities are looking at smart city. And smart city is all about data. And all of you have probably seen the most popular, the biggest smart city project in the world in New York City. That's called Link NYC. And Link NYC is a very ambitious project. They put totems on every single street corner and all over New York, more than 10,000 of them. And it was really, really interesting to see how they selected. So many companies wanted to win this project, but the company who won it was Google. For one reason, because the main driver is not having screens on every corner, but is collecting data. Because in these totems, there are lots of built-in sensors. So there are air sensors, there's traffic sensors, all of this stuff in New York and also this one. So that's what's really the benefit for the city. So it's not the advertisement what many people who just talk about digital form or technology think, but it's about data. And Google won it not because they can collect the most data, but they could put it in a dashboard and made it available for the city. Because the city is not used to using, hundreds and hundreds of data points or thousands and thousands of data points. So they said, if we want this data, but please give us only the data we can make use of, where we have a lever. And Google was really good at this one. Obviously, they know how to manage data, and they really did a nice job in offering a dashboard to the city of New York, which they could use, but even the municipality, which is not so IT driven, brings them a benefit. And there's also another nice thing, when you're next time in New York, have a look at these ones, And there's this big screen for advertisement. There's a small touch panel, which basically is a tablet, an Android tablet, and you can use Google Maps. You can use it as a phone because these screens replace payphones. The city of New York decided to get rid of all the payphones because nobody used them anymore, but we still need to offer some public information. And so these totems have two buttons where you can call the police or you can call the fire, but also you have an iPad, you can charge your phone, and you have all the sensors built in. And what's a really nice thing is Spotify, for example, collects the information of what kind of songs people hear in one area. So you can also look at the screens and they show you what is the hit list of songs in your square. And that's really, really cool. So again, data driven, but it gives a bit, that's what people like. And obviously they also use it for public information when there's, a thunderstorm or a snowstorm or things like this. So smart city is one of the biggest drivers besides retail for digital signage. But again, the screen is just to visualize it, to have some advertisement and to visualize the data to the citizens. Because smart city is all about politics, it's all about communication. It's not about collecting data and for the municipality to use the data, but also for the citizens to understand what the benefits of that is. So having heat maps and showing where traffic is and everything, that becomes more and more important.
We have a whole bunch of projectors who are creating a nice integration of digital signage and the wall. But this only works when there's not enough, when the brightness is not too high, because this doesn't work in a very hell of light. Then you need more LED and OLED kind of screens. Long, and this is really interesting, curved OLED screens, but that's already not so special. But on the inside, it's one big touch screen, and that is really fantastic. And everything here on the inside is touch screens, and you can basically control, organize, and influence. So all these are touch screens, and you can basically put menus in there. With digital signage, one of the biggest differences with TV is that you have to tell the story in 2-3 seconds without sound, and that's really difficult. TV is 30 seconds. Okay, Crystal LED display system, and it's a chip on board. Instead of 3 boards, you only need 2, and it's extremely black, extremely light, and it's now $55,000 per square meter, but it will become a lot cheaper. In 24 months, you'll see the first enters, and I cannot express how bright and shiny this is. This is really, the camera has absolutely no idea what to do with it, but it's beautiful. Yeah, I can better show the eyes of the puppet. Look at these eyes. So chip on board. It's amazing. Wow. Now let's combine a couple of things. Digital signage, and you have basically screens in the backgrounds. You have sensors in the shelves. There's electricity. And the moment you take something off, it starts showing you content based on that product, based on that sensor. So it's extremely dynamic, and it's really related to what the customer wants. This is really integrated digital signage. All the possibilities, sensors, screens, and content.
First they do this nice layout, and then later on somebody comes and says, okay, oh, we forgot the digital, so let's put it somewhere. But they spend money to have a flexible system, and when they retrofit the screens, they put in cables and they lose the full flexibility because the screens are fixed to the wall. And that's something with systems like this, you don't have that anymore, because you can plug in the screens, and you have the full electricity through there, the sensors, data, everything.
Okay, so we need thousands and thousands of screens, and it depends very much how you basically drive them. So this is a media player, an Optias Atom. Here we have a much cheaper version, and the Raspberry Pi is also fine. It's only 40-50 euros, and it basically does the entry-level performance. Very nice for flights. I mean, if you have simple screens, you don't need the graphic power of that. You can just use a Raspberry Pi for a couple of dollars.
What's interesting about great use cases.
Artificial intelligence in digital signage and retail.
The possibility, the opportunity to see. So we can walk now with a mobile phone like this one. We can walk through a store, and we can, use artificial intelligence to calculate, to simulate what typical people would see, and especially how content, how different content works for different target groups. And this is what artificial intelligence can do. Besides, you can use your voice and all of these things. But we do a lot of this stuff at our conference in July. July, so you're more than happy to join us there, and you see much more artificial intelligence and LED next year. So I hope I could give you some insights. Enjoy the last half hour of the show, and if you just need to return your headsets to me, and thanks a lot.
Thank you.